Hello students, welcome back to the online video classes. In the previous class, we have completed our discussion on biodiversity and its conservation. We have discussed the methods of conservation like in situ, that is on-site conservation, and ex situ, that is off-site conservation. We have discussed some endemic species, extinct species, vulnerable and rare species. Now today we will start our new discussion on chapter 13, that is waste and its management. So waste, that is the useless things which we have thrown away from our houses, from industries, and these chemicals are harmful and causes diseases. So these undesirable and useless substances are waste products, and we have to manage this waste product. So this management is known as waste management, that is managing the waste so they have less effects on the environment and have less impact indirectly on human beings. So first of all, today we will discuss the sources of waste, types of waste products, and then we will discuss how we can manage these waste products. So in the 21st century, due to the scientific researches and industrial progress, there are so many luxuries which we are enjoying at present time. But along with these kinds of increased lifestyle, increased quality of life, we have also suffering from a problem, that is environmental degradation, in which increased amount of waste production is an important aspect. So these kinds of waste products are produced at an enormous amount whose management is very difficult. In developed countries, there is also waste product, but their management is far more better than the developing countries like India. In the towns, there are more garbage production as compared to the villages. The reasons behind this is the increased population of the towns, and the industry setup are also present in the towns. So the waste are present in excess amount in the towns, and their management is also very difficult. So in the developed countries like US, that is United States, the amount of urban waste is 4.34 crore tons per year. But in country like India, where there are no provisions for waste disposal, the quantity is very much as compared to this quantity of developed countries due to the poor management of waste. So first of all, today we will discuss the types of waste. On the basis of state of the waste products, first of all, there are three states, as you know: solid, liquid and gas. So waste products are also divided into the categories of solid, liquid and waste. The chemical solutions will come under the category of liquid. The harmful gases, carbon monoxide and nitrogen and sulfur oxides, will come under the category of gaseous state. And in the solid state, the plastic, glasses and other kinds of cardboard, paper will come under the category of solid waste. Dust will also come under solid waste, as dust will contain the paper, cardboard, these kinds of things. So first of all, types of waste on the basis of their degradation, that is if they are decomposed by the bacteria and fungi, then they will come under the category of biodegradable. It means that they are degraded by the help of a bio, that is a living substance, that is bacteria and fungi. These kinds of organisms, you may say microorganisms, secretes the enzymes on the substance, and with the help of these enzymes, this substance, that is the waste, is decomposed and converted into the simpler form. This is biodegradation. So the first kind, that is biodegradable waste, like the organic waste, paper, the vegetable and fruit peels, like in the medical field, the cotton bran, blood and the flesh pieces. These kinds of things like agricultural waste, these are the biodegradable waste which sometime or other after a particular time will be decomposed, but it will take some time. But our garbage production is at very much high speed. Due to that kind of rate, the degradation is very slow, as we can compare both the rate of producing the garbage and the rate of decomposition. So the rate of producing garbage is very much high than the decomposition rate. So these kinds of waste which can be biodegraded are also causing environmental problems. Second one is non-biodegradable waste. The waste which can't be biodegraded from the environment, they are present in their initial form for billions of years, and due to that kind of nature, the garbage production still continues. So there is accumulation of these kinds of waste and no degradation, so it leads to a hazardous effect on the earth. So these kinds of waste like plastic, bottles, polythene, glasses, syringes in the medical field and the metal pieces, these kinds of waste are not degraded by any kind of microorganisms or any other kind of source. The ultimate source is the burning, and it will leads to the harmful production of harmful gases and the remaining ash, which also contains the chemicals which have the very hazardous effects on the human health. So these were the about types of waste on the basis of state, that is solid, liquid and gas, and the other one is about the basis of the action of microorganisms, that is biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So the next topic is sources of waste. So the first source of waste is household sources, the waste products, the garbage which is produced in the house activities, like the garbage of vegetable and fruits peels, the paper, cardboards, the glasses and the bottles. These kinds of waste products are included in the household sources which are thrown away in the roadside or to the municipal for decomposition. For even during the cleaning of house, the dirt is produced. This is also included in the household sources. Then the second one is the municipal source, in which other than household sources, the feces, urine are also included. The waste products from the markets are also included in the municipal source. In the waste products from other institutions like from the schools and from other government offices, these are also included in the waste of municipal committee. So these kinds of waste products are dumped at a particular place, but that place are also getting polluted as there is no solution of these or management of these waste. According to an estimate, approximately 5,000 tons of municipal waste per day is collected from 45 major cities of India. So you can see that how much garbage is produced per day from the major cities of India, as these cities are also having industries, the main institutions are also included in these kinds of cities, so the garbage production is also more. Then comes the industrial and mining waste. During the industrial production, except the main product and the byproduct which can be used in other process, the other remaining substances, or you may say that the impurities present in the substance which have been removed. So these kinds of substances, chemicals you may say, can cause the great harmful diseases on the human as well as on other plants and animals. So plants are also affected by these kinds of chemicals if the waste water or the waste products of industries are being released directly into the rivers or in any other water bodies. So these kinds of chemicals will lead to the diseases in human beings. So about industrial waste, according to the industry, the waste product is different and their symptoms, their character in water or in any other place in soil is different. So now we will discuss the type of industry and the type of waste which is generated in that industry and the symptoms related to that waste. So the table 13.1 is given, in which in the first column there is type of industry. In the second column, the waste which is generated from industry is given, and the third one is about the symptoms. So first company is the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry, in which the waste products are obviously microorganisms and organic chemicals, because pharmaceutical manufacturing industry is basically the medicine producing industry. So there will be organic chemicals as well as microorganisms present there. So the symptoms will be suspended and dissolved organic matter. As organic chemicals are present, then these chemicals will be dissolved in water and some particular substances will get suspended. Second one is textile industry, in which the waste is fibers and water waste fabric. So the symptoms will be alkaline and suspended substances. Alkaline is basically used for the basic nature. Third one is chemical industry, in which chemicals are present, raw chemical, intermediate and the end products of the reactions. So these kinds of chemicals are released from chemical industry, and their symptoms will be, they will be poisonous, acidic sometimes, or it may be sometimes alkaline, which will totally depend on the reactions. So alkaline, inflammable. Inflammable is the having the capacity to get burnt. Fourth one is petroleum industry. So the waste from the petroleum industries will be the chemicals. So their symptoms will be the oily nature and as well as they will be acidic. Fifth one is the fertilizer industry, in which there are solid waste, the chemicals like calcium and calcium phosphate are released, which will decrease the fertility of the soil. Sixth one is the thermal power plant. The thermal power plant from which fly ash is released, that is the waste product of the thermal power plant, because due to the burning and sometimes due to the incomplete burning, there will be unburnt carbon or incomplete burnt carbon, which will lead to the production of flying ash. And this flying ash may have the symptoms of solid substances like silicates and iron oxide. Other than this, there is semi-burnt carbons. Seventh one is the rubber industry, in which the waste product is itself rubber and its symptoms will be high chloride present in the water or the rubber powder. So in rubber industry, rubber itself is the kind of waste present there. After the industrial waste and mining waste, there is another waste of agriculture, in which using excess amount of chemical fertilizers, weedicides, herbicides, insecticides and pesticides. Due to these kinds of harmful chemicals and gases, the environment of that farm will be polluted, the soil will be also becomes less fertile after a certain time, the water which is flown away from that kind of farm will contain the harmful chemicals and will pollute the water bodies, and finally they have adverse effect on several plants and animals. So this was about the agricultural source. The fifth one is the medical source. The medical source, in which the syringes, the useless organs which are being transplanted. So these kinds of substances which contains the harmful microorganisms leads to the pollution, and most important, they will cause the hazardous diseases. The infectious diseases will be communicated. So this was the medical sector problem. Like the infected tissues and the organs, if they will just dumped anywhere, then they will cause several diseases. So the medical infection causing pollution is first of all incinerated, that is they are burnt at a very high temperature in the bins, then the harmful microorganisms are being killed, and then these kinds of substances are safe to be disposed of. So these were about the medical sector. Now there are several information related to the kind of waste given, in which in India about 90% garbage is in the form of ash, that is the harmful gases and the unburnt carbons. So other than the India, in the developed countries like USA, the waste contains 42% of the paper and cardboard items, 24% contains the metallic matter and 12% contains the food ingredients. So you may say that they have a better management of their waste as compared to the developing country like India. So this was all about the types of waste and the sources of waste. Now we will discuss the losses due to the waste. So along with the sources, we have discussed many kinds of losses like the spreading of diseases, the infectious diseases, the fatal diseases like AIDS can be spread up if the disposal of hospital is not done properly. So the infectious diseases like hepatitis B, tetanus are also spread if the care is not taken up. Then the second thing is the smoke released from the industries, which also contains harmful substances. The people living around the industrial areas will lead to the problems like respiratory problems, skin and eye disorders due to that kind of pollution. The plants, due to the acid rain, are also being adversely affected. They are having various kinds of diseases and chlorophyll destruction, that is less production of food also leads these kinds of problems. So, especially the garbage from hospitals, the bandages, used bandages, cottons, blood, syringes, tubes, glasses, these kinds of substances from hospitals must be first of all incinerated, that is burnt in the high temperature, then they are should be disposed of. No one effluent from industry should be released from into the rivers directly, as they will make the river polluted and will spread the diseases in the people living there or using that water directly. The municipal waste, first of all the sewage should be treated in the sewage treatment plants before they are disposing of into the rivers. So, due to the waste products and due to the poor management of waste products, there is environmental pollution, there is economic losses, there is decrease in the fertility of soil, water, air, everything is contaminated due to the harmful chemical substances which are also carcinogenic, that is cancer causing, and will directly or indirectly will have a huge loss on the human activities. So, today we have discussed the types of waste, their sources and the losses which we have suffering from the waste products. Like you can say that there are some slum settlements near the garbage area, and due to that kind of settlements, the people living there are living a very dreadful life, as they are living near the garbage, near the harmful substances and getting ill, and even they are not having that kind of sufficient money for the proper treatment. And if the disease is infectious, then this will infect some other organisms. There are slum settlements near the towns which are highly developed and have a large area for garbage. So, the poor people will live at that slum areas, like in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata. This trend of slum areas have been increased very much. In Rajasthan also, the cities like Jaipur, Jodhpur, Kota, Bikaner, Udaipur, Bhilwara, Sriganganagar, Alwar and Bharatpur, these all are having a great area for the slum people living in the slum, and they are facing the problems related to the waste very much. So, this garbage which are disposed of there must be managed for making their life easier. So, this was all about the waste. Now, in the next class we will discuss the management of these waste products. Thank you.